So having built the model, which is y is equal to a plus bx, and also checking for the goodness of the model, we are almost ready to implement this model. But it is very important to also check whether different assumptions based on which this simple linear regression model is built are valid or not. So let's take a look at different assumptions for simple linear regression modeling. The first one is x and y are linearly related. The second assumption is the errors are normally distributed. The third assumption is about homoscedasticity. This means that the errors have constant variance. And lastly, the errors should not be serially correlated. So these are 4 different assumptions that need to be validated before we actually implement the model. So just to quickly recap, having tested for the significance of correlation coefficient, we move ahead with model building. Having built the model and having estimated the parameters, we test for the significance of the regression coefficient. After which, we also check how much is the proportion of the variation that is being explained by the model using the quantity r squared. After which, it is important to validate all these 4 models, and only then one will be in a position to implement the simple linear regression model that is built using the historic data. So now let's try to understand how to validate these assumptions of simple linear regression modeling. Most of the assumptions, as you must have noticed, are around the errors in the modeling. So to validate the assumption of normality of the errors, the first step would be to calculate the errors. So basically we calculate the estimated errors, and they are called as the residuals. A residual is obtained as the difference between the observed value of the dependent variable and the estimated value of the dependent variable. The most important assumption of simple linear regression model is about normality of the errors. To validate this assumption of normality of errors, there are 4 different methods, 2 of which are graphical methods and 2 are mathematical methods. So the graphical methods are a box and whisker plot and QQ plot, which is a quantile plot, and the 2 mathematical methods include Shapiro-Wilks test and Kolmogorov-Smirnov test.